Hi everyone, welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Miss Jasmine K. Sheikh, uh, who is the founder of Axia Food Private Limited, a food processing company. Jasmine is a food researcher with 9+ years of experience in research and innovation for safe food. Jasmine has worked for companies such as Snackable, Spice Tailor, and Gobin Milk before starting her own venture. Uh, Jasmine is also a graduate of MIT College of Food Technology. So today we have a food entrepreneur. Let's welcome Jasmine to ELI.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Jasmine, I would request you to introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Okay, so I think you have already said all the introduction. That is what actually I am. So basically, I've done my BTech from Gurukul MIT College of Food Technology in 2011, and it's been now a decade. Over the decade, I'm into this food research and development. I'm a BSI certified lead auditor too for the ISO 22000 quality management and everything. And before starting my this, work with MNCs like Bud Sun Pharma for their some products through the third parties. Also, I work with the startups like Snackable, Epigamia. So my immediate previous company was the Epigamia Greek yogurt, where I was heading the innovation center. And in 2019, then I started my own. It is like that.
So let's start from the very beginning. Tell us when you thought of becoming an entrepreneur.
That's very so basically when I was studying the BTech, so not only from the engineering background, we had some subjects which is related to medical background, biotechnology, and some are from the marketing and this thing. So while pursuing the BTech, the qualities has been developed and the vision has been said that okay, no, uh, apart from this, working for other companies, of course, I can start my own. So I passed out in 2011. From that day, I wanted to start my own. But of course, it took a time because so many things were there. So you can say like when I passed out my BTech, from that day only, I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Okay. Uh, if that is the case, then why you want to be entrepreneur? What drives you?
Okay, so basically now thing is that now I can clarify, I can give you the more detailed brief about why I wanted to be entrepreneur. So basically, the thing is that when you work for any organizations, right? So you have to follow those people. So the task has been already set by the companies, right?
Mm,
Of course, you get the chance that okay, there are so many things that you have in your head that okay, these things can bring up a new innovation to the society, or it can help by like in any ways. Maybe they will expose to the good kind of a products, or it may helps to the environment too. But when you work for an organization, you're just not only one person. There is a
mm,
team. There are people who are sitting on your head. So you have to uh, uh, follow them, right? So of course, though you get an opportunity chance, but of course it takes times, right? And for me, it's something like that. I always wanted to start with something which is very really helpful for the people, also for the kids, because we have a mission driven with this key. We can able to get a nutritional foods at very minimum cost, and which also can help to sustain the environment.
mm,
So that was the thing, and I knew that of course if I want to do these things, and my thinking is like out of the box, there is a no box only. So of course I have to lead myself. So it is something that I wanted to, like, if I want to change something, I have to take a step
okay.
rather than waiting for 10 to 20 years to get opportunity from the other people. So that
Mm,
was the biggest reason that I wanted to start. So I wanted to create my own opportunity.
okay. That is interesting. Now tell us about the company you are building since last 2 years, Axia Food Labs. What is it about?
Akshaya Foods Private Limited, we have started in 2019. So it's all about the manufacturing of a high protein, probiotic, plant-based products. So we are into the yogurt, smoothies. Also, we are coming with the products, which is mainly focused on the plant-based, and it will be completely dairy and soya free. So basically, what happened? Ki there are a certain group of people who are not willing to consume the dairy
Okay.
because of the emotional attachment to the animals. Also, they are the people who are lactose intolerance, or the milk is not
Mm-hmm.
suits them. And also that there so we know that it's plants are very nutritious foods, right? It is a complete food, that you can say. So we wanted to combine all these aspects and to serve the people, where people can have all these things in one place. So the people who are looking for a plant-based diet, which is clean, which is dairy and soya free, also which is gluten free, preservative free, where people can get their all essential nutrients at one play, like at a one product only. So if I want to talk about our product like a green yogurt, which is a high protein probiotic plant-based yogurts. So we have like almonds, cashew nuts, coconut, and seed and oat yogurts, where it's a combination of pumpkin, chia, flax seeds, and
Okay.
oats. So the concept behind of this product is that we can introduce a product which is a healthy meal on the go. The people who are working in an office, like in a, or the women who doesn't get the time to get or to focus on a like a cooking or nutritional products, to because I don't think so there is any, we don't have that kind of a culture in India where we can count in my one plate how much protein I'm getting, how much carbs I'm getting, fibers. There is a only certain group of people who do, and that is also done by the nutritionist.
Mm.
So even the people are, not all people are afford the nutritionist who can design their day to day this thing, and not even one can think, okay, for one only, like for every time, every meal, what I can take, right? So we wanted to just simplify. So we introduced this green yogurt, where one single jar is like 150 grams of the yogurt, where you can get your almost 50% of your daily requirement of protein is get fulfilled, around 70 to 80% of your vitamins, minerals. It has a probiotics. It's a very gut friendly bacteria are there, billions of bacteria, probiotic bacteria there, who also helps to boost your immunity, to helps to support the immunity, right? So this is the concept that we wanted to come, where a person who doesn't need to think much about that, it's completely preservative free.
Mm.
Also, we are using the glass packaging, where which is very helpful to the environment, because we are seeing that it is global warming issues are there. Even there are so many, even worldwide, the concern about the plastics and the waste has been rise. So this is something that we wanted to start, and we are already doing it very good in this Indian platform, in Indian market. As I
Okay.
say.
Okay. Let's talk about the Indian market now, especially relating the food. In my understanding, what I have seen in the history also, India used to be a place rich in organic food and Ayurvedic medicines. And in the past, people used to be much more healthier than now. So in a way,
Mhm.
I don't know what caused it, but the existing food habits are just diversions from what we had back then, and now there is a sudden
Mhm.
uprising of organic foods and Ayurveda, and everybody is talking about pesticide less food food products. So why is this happening in your understanding? Why did we as a community destroy our learnings and our food habits and then try to recreate?
Okay, so basically now, if you will see, if the market has been changed really drastically. So if you see in 1990 till the 1990, there is the whatever the grains or something, what is the farm produce, it's mostly towards the organic. Now, so many chemicals introduced to the Indian farmers to increase the yield and everything, because at the end, everyone wants to increase the yield to get up to earn the money more in a limited resources. That actually impacted to to start the inorganic food stuff in the India. Also, there are so many food chains has been launched in Indian market where people has changed their food habits, right? Now in last 2 3 years, what has happened, people are now getting more conscious, aware about their health, what they are eating, how they are eating, what kind of junk foods are they eating. So if you will see, there are so many people are now falling into the diabetes, this thing. So
Mm.
almost it has been said that ki in the diabetes ratio of Indian people, which can be at a 2070, we have already crossed in 2017 only. So this is the issue that has been started, right? So one thing is that ki people has now got understand about ki what is the healthy products, right?
Mm.
Instead of investing in a medicines later on in a this thing disease to cure the disease, it's better to invest in a health. So that's why the one thing is that happen ki people are know more about their health and consciousness. Also, people are understand that ki of course the more they will consume the pesticides, of course it is going to affect on their health, right? So now the trend is has been that ki people are asking for the residual free products, which is like your organic stuffs. So these are the things actually. One is your requirement and one is like understanding, and there are people who are actually offering these things. So I think this is the why, these are the reason why the people are now change their food habits, and they are more concerned about the organic products. So these are the emerging markets.
Okay. Um, what do you think is the role of big FMCG companies? For example, there is Tata's and Reliance. They have a lot of products into the food segment, right? Uh, what do you think
Mhm.
their role has been in in modifying the food habits of Indian people, and in a way, what I believe is destroying the Indian food culture.
We can't say these people have destroyed the food culture, because see the thing is that ki, whenever we introduce anything in a
Hmm.
market, one thing is that ki, there is a requirement, if there is a demand, then
Hmm.
of course a company will introduce such a kind of a products.
Hmm.
One is that ki, of course there is a, some marketing or like a business agenda they are come with.
Hmm.
So you cannot say ki these are the people who actually destroy these things, because if I say Reliance is into the retail stores, they have a retail marts where they keep the all uh, farm fresh produce to the packaged food. Where is the Tata? Tata is coming with so many good concepts like ready to eat products and all that. So we are not. I'm not saying where that ki, these people have destroyed the this thing, but there are other companies or other food chains are there. And also some important thing is that ki Indian people have that mentality to accept the, so people will accept more foreign culture faster than what they will, they are they have a very resistant to stick to our roots, right?
Hmm.
So that is the reason there is a demand from the people,
Okay.
maybe because that's why this markets has emerged as a junk food.
Okay.
So I'm not saying this company is as a big role in the destroying
No,
these things. They
why
are
I'm
the
saying this is in past we have learned many examples. Like one example would be like Tata tried to market their salt with the concept of iodine, whereas not everybody is deficit of iodines, and that is medically proven as a wrong thing to market. Similar examples can be found in every sort of product. So what I'm trying to say here is, do we need more McDonald's? Do we need more Domino's? Or if we don't need it as a society, then who is creating? What is creating such a
okay.
destructive
So
habit?
if you're asking me, of course we don't need McDonald's or Domino's kind of a food. If you will see the MACD, which is for products in the US
Mhm.
and other countries or in India, if you compare the nutritional this thing, so it's very different. It's very completely different. And one thing for the Indian people as an Indian consumer is that Indian consumers are more tend to eat sugar, fried products, right? So that is the one thing that actually, and one factor is the price point.
Okay.
So these are the food chains. They grab three things. One, a good ambience where people can feel that they are having a food in a luxurious place. Second, they are having something very cool and unique kind of a product. And third, it's a kind of a tasty because since it is a fried and everything. So that is the thing actually. It's not good. It's not leading to a good health.
Mm.
So I don't think so that we need actually this kind of a product because of all these things, people now need to go to the gym to exercise to burn the fat that have over exercised had certain kind of a places.
Mm.
um, yeah, so we are not seeing any requirement of this thing because what so Indian
As an
we are blessed that ki Indian.
So here is my question to you as
Yeah,
an
please say.
entrepreneur. What would be your measures as a stakeholder to the society to avoid such things? For example, many of the lifestyle diseases you mentioned, diabetes and all, they can be stopped if we act as a
Hmm.
society, in a very uh, uh, complete way rather than individual efforts. What would you do as an entrepreneur? What measures can our society or our government can take to avoid these mishappenings?
Okay, so now the one important thing that's key, first we should respect our food culture.
Mhm.
We are blessed to have a diverse food cultures because if you go, if you will see Gujarat has so many, if you stick to like a staple food of the Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Kerala, any places, anywhere you go, we are blessed to have a complete kind of a food in our thali. So we should respect our food fast that okay, what we are having, if you will see from back into till 2000, people used to have a like a complete food like it has to be a fiber, pulses will be introduced, pulses in our diet, rice, then also people used to exercise, walk, and all these things is happening. Now what is happening as we get as we get a closer to a technology, we stop doing all activities. If you will see, people used to walk like a 1 or 2 kilometers,
Hmm.
right? Here what we are doing, we are avoiding walking, we are like simply taking our cars, bikes and going to this place. So what is happening if you don't walk? So food digestion and exercise goes hand in hand, right? So for that reason people used to understand first key what the lifestyle we had in 2000, back 2000, right? So right from your life pattern and your food pattern, that is what actually we have to start it back. So it's something like that, we have to go back to our roots. So
Okay.
we should do that to avoid such things because diabetes is a very major issue is now in India. So from kids to with that also even lactose intolerance is increasing. Why?
Hmm.
Because of the lifestyle that we are having, right?
Okay.
So people can avoid all these things that we are. So I think we should every I think we should listen more to our grandparents now because they know the better how to live better as
Hmm.
what we are knowing, because we are more focused on a style and living luxurious kind of stuff, but they used to do a luxury, like they used to live a very luxuriously but in very sensible manner where their diet and their lifestyle can help to live longer.
Hmm. That is actually a very interesting and valid point you made. We should
So
listen
if
to
you
our
can, if for example, if you see back in I remember my story because in 95, if you see in Maharashtra or other places, whenever any person used to come at a home, right? first thing they used to offer them a jaggery and peanuts, roasted
Hmm.
peanut and jaggery. So
Hmm.
it's really healthy. Now people are having a peanut butter, and it is back to now jaggery. Right now, most of the things has changed with the tea with the milk, which is not good combination. You should have a black tea, or you should have only milk. So along as per the Ayurveda, the black milk tea is not good for the health, right?
Okay.
So that is what actually we are trying to see, that we should go back to our roots. What they used to do, we should just follow them.
Hmm. Okay. Uh, I think enough discussion on the industry. I'd like to know about your personal journey as an entrepreneur. Tell us how it all started. How did you find the right people to take your vision forward? How it all started?
Okay, so right people is something like that. Kids, all people are in our house only. So
Hmm.
my brother, he is who's Wasim, who's a co-founder, and my sister, she's a Exipla person. So my brother, he is by education, he's a CS, but as a professional, he is a certified nutritionist, dietitian, a physiotherapist. So it's something that key and. When we wanted to start of course a company where we can offer such a kind of a nutritional product. Why plant? So it has some personal journey to it. So my father, he was on a dialysis for 7 years.
Hmm.
So in that 7 years, we have studied his diet a lot, and along with him, we have we have spoken to so many people who are actually under the dialysis thing. We spoken to a nephrologist, neurologist, so many people, even diabetic doctors, how the things are there, and what is the how diet is important. It makes such a great impact on your health, that people, if can take seriously, they can focus on their diet and what they're actually eating, it can, these diseases are never going to happen.
Hmm.
So those things are stuck in our mind. So then we started like, okay, and my father is someone who, like, if you know that the person who's on a dialysis, they have so many restrictions on their diet, right? From a intake of water, then protein. In that protein also, how much creatine is in, because that is the one crucial point for them. And now it is something, it's very difficult to get a right kind of a milk too, though they are a people, but it should be managed in a cost wise too. So then he used to take a plant-based products, like he used to take a almond yogurts, cashew nut yogurts in a limited, where he can get the all nutrients in a natural format, where the absorption is very easily, because that is the one important factor, ki whether we take uh, like a so high nutritious product, but if our gut health is not good, then the nutrients are not going to absorb in our body. So
Hmm.
we call it as a viability of that products. So then we thought it, of course, and we have seen a result on him. So then we are like, why not to take this product to the people? So then we have started, like, we are going to start with a plant-based product, and we wanted to start in a like a packaging which is like a glass packaging, which is also good for the maintaining the nutrients of the food, but also it is help to it's helpful for the environment too, because it doesn't create any pollution, and also it is a recyclable. So these are the thoughts that we this thing. So I have discussed with my father. He's like, go ahead, this is the good stuff that you are doing, and it is really required, because still people are very confused with it, because there are so many options are available.
Hmm.
So many people have a different their thoughts, opinions about the diet, high protein, and people have that mindset that okay, we talk about protein, that it is only for the people who wants to build up a muscle, who wants to do a bodybuilding, but they don't understand that protein is important from right from to building your immunity, to building your muscles, to building your tissues, which has to be repaired in every after seconds.
Hmm.
So that is what actually, and here if you go to change the people their mindset, along with that, if you can simply offer them product, it is available now. So there is a product availability now. Simultaneously people understand, and because of this COVID-19, people are now more aware about their health. Okay, if we eat the right products, then we will be able to to fight against such a kind of a crisis.
True.
So yeah, so this is what actually we thought and we succeed to uh, execute in the market. So my father, my sister who's looking after the quality, and my brother who's a CMO too.
Okay,
So this is good. Yeah.
understood. Uh, Last few questions. Jasmine, tell us what are the challenges you have faced along the way while building this venture, and what is your vision? Where do you take it in long run?
Okay, so basically now, as I told, okay, we are the pioneers of the plant-based product in India. So, and we started with the Pune. So initially it was very difficult to make people understand, okay, it is a dairy and soya-free yogurt. So when people say yogurt or a curd, in the back of mind, they have like, it must be from a dairy, right?
Mm.
That was one thing. So, and people used to relate, so the taste is very different. It won't be like a your dairy. So people have they will compare, okay, no, the taste is very different, it is not tasting like a yogurt. So we have to tell them, okay, no, it is completely dairy. It is made out of almonds, nuts. It doesn't have any single fraction of milk, and the taste, of course, it is going to be different. Second thing is like a price point. So since it is so our yogurt is not just like a kind of a snack, or like a you can it's a meal. So we have created a product, we have created a yogurt, which is a milk. So so that concept, it is very difficult to people understand. Okay, but we are happy that ki when we started with a big food chains like a Durabji's, so they were happy that ki, okay, we need such a kind of products, and we are happy that it's a Indian.
Hmm.
So that was one thing, and we got a good response for this product. And yeah, but this was a very difficult to make people understand that ki, okay, this is completely different. The, the scenario is different, and it has a health aspects. Of course, you have to pay them.
Okay.
So one thing was that, yeah,
Hmm.
because
One.
it is complete and unique new concept to the India.
Mhm.
So to make people understand what exactly it is, that was the biggest challenge for us.
Okay. Here, I'd like to talk about one interesting observation that I have made. Uh, Many of the Ayurvedic or organic product companies are based out of India. In fact, their origin is based out of India. You talk about Patanjali, you talk about Dabur.
Mm-hmm.
They have
Hmm.
been consistently successful at doing this organic or Ayurvedic things, and not many PNGs or many other FMCG companies that have base outside India have been successful in this particular industry, the organics industry. Why is that, as per you?
So you are asking that ki why organic industry, the leading FMCG companies are successful in out of India, not in India.
No, no, no. I'm asking why is it not Unilever or not PNG are being successful in this industry? Why it is Patanjali or Dabur they are successful in this industry?
See, every company has their own USP. So
Hmm.
every company has their certain mission with them. Now Unilever, P&G, they are focusing on the mass market product and the daily products, like right from their soap, shampoos, and foods and everything, and like
I'll rephrase my question.
Colgates and everything.
I'll rephrase my
Hmm.
question. Why is it outside companies, be it whichever company, let's say some organic company from US, which is focusing on organic products only, is not successful in India?
Mhm. Okay, so one thing is important is the price point. That is the important thing, because people have so that is what actually we want to see, that people are not aware, people are not willing to spend the money on the right kind of a food.
Hmm.
They will spend a lot of money on a medications, on a medicines, but not on a food. So one thing is that we need to change our mentality that we should invest in our health. So that is why when the organic products comes, So when we talk about the organics, it's a lots of things that we have to do, right? One thing is that yield is a very less in organic thing.
Mm.
There are so many efforts has to take when you grow organic vegetables or you make manufacture products. So ultimately the production cost of the product is on a higher side. So of course all these things leads to increase in a final price of the product. So as is, for example, if we are taking a milk which is cost almost 50 to 60 rupees per liter, if we talk about the organic or like a A2 kind of a milk, the production cost and the selling price will be like almost 120 rupees liter. So now people will think, why I want to buy 1 liter at the cost of a 2 liter of a milk? So that is the simple calculation the Indian people do, but they won't think that no, it is complete antibiotic free, doesn't have any pesticide residues in it. It's good for my health.
Mm-hmm.
This thought will never come. But the price, the main factor for any purchase which is happening in India is the cost, especially for the food. We will not think about the electronics, buying a car, buying anything. But of course, the first factor will come when you buy any food product is the cost of the product. People are not willing to spend money on their health.
Mm.
And it is going, and only they spend the money when doctors ask them, when they go through certain medications. So this is the mentality that people needs to change, and slowly it is getting changed. That's why the organic market is now emerging in India.
Okay.
So that's why this P&G, Unilever, they only focus on the mass market, not on organic.
Okay. Final question to you, Jasmine. Tell us what you have learned as an entrepreneur, which others can learn too. Uh, in other words, I am asking you, tell us how they can start their journey as entrepreneurs.
First important thing is that have a leap of faith, take a calculated risk. When if you want to start a journey, don't hesitate to start with a new concept. Of course it is going to take a time, it is going to take a time. You have to take a like a efforts, you have to give your more than 100% to execute. But gather all your thoughts, make first plan, then execute step by step. But very patience, you should have a patience, you should have that guts. And I'm just telling, I really want to mention this thing that uh, I always think that okay, when I wanted to start my own, I have to leave something. So I left my 7-figure salary and then I started my own. So then at a certain point, here when you start your entrepreneurship the journey, in that your success is has been defined like how much units are you are able to sell. Of course it is going to take a time. Just have a faith on yourself and your product, try hard, and come with a new concept. Never hesitate to start, to be a first.
Okay.
That's what actually I want to, because this is what actually we learn from our these things. So it was predicted that the plant-based products or the market is going to be take place in India maybe in 2023, but we started in 19, and now many people, many companies has got inspired and they have starting, they have taken our roads too. So we are happy, we are quite happy that at least we have motivated some people to start this similar kind of thing.
You have certainly motivated me and many of the viewers who are watching this video. On this note, I'll like to close this session, and it was a great pleasure to host you here at ELI. I would like to thank you for your time, Jasmine, and our best wishes for Axia Food Labs.
Thank you so much, Priya, for having the interview. Thank you so much. All the best.
That is it for today's episode. We'll be back with another exciting entrepreneur. Stay tuned to ELI.